Have you ever noticed how every time someone moves overseas, they suddenly become international motivational speakers on social media? One guy will post, "It's not what it seems, guys. Overseas is hard." While another will say, "Trust me, it's better than South Africa no matter how you slice it." And recently, a South African man dropped a video that got people talking because he pulled out some pretty heavy statistics and made a point that hit home. He started by reminding us that back home we've got around 8 million people unemployed. Let that sink in. 8 million. That's not just a number, that's stadiums upon stadiums filled with people without work. And then he went deeper, saying South Africa is ranked as the 5th highest in crime globally. And when it comes to education, we're sitting at 146 out of 148 countries for recognized official systems. Add to that, we're the 4th highest when it comes to homicides worldwide. Now sure, those numbers might not all be up to the minute precise, but they do reflect what you'll find if you go digging through places like Wikipedia. The point is, the situation isn't exactly paradise, and that's where his argument comes in. A lot of South Africans living overseas often make videos trying to humble others back home. They'll say things like, "Guys, don't think life here is glamorous. You'll be lonely, you'll face racism, you'll miss pap and chakalaka, and your stomach will never recover from how bland the food is." Which, to be fair, is true. Overseas life has its challenges, no doubt. But what this man said really struck a chord. Stop telling people it's not worth it. Because at the end of the day, when you look at the basics, education, safety, employment, healthcare, South Africa struggles in all 4 of those. And if you think about it, those are the building blocks of having a decent life. You can't talk about living your best life if you're constantly worried about getting a job, or whether your child's education is properly recognized, or if you'll even make it home safely. Overseas might not give you champagne and caviar every day, but at least in many countries, you're more likely to have stability in those key areas. Now, this doesn't mean he's saying South Africa is all doom and gloom. Of course, there are pros to living back home. The vibe, the culture, the family connections, the weather, the fact that braai meat actually tastes like braai meat. Overseas will test you, whether it's dealing with racism, missing your favorite foods, or just the sheer cost of living. But his point was simple. Don't exaggerate and act like moving abroad is pointless. Because even though the grass isn't perfectly green overseas, it's definitely a bit greener than what many people are experiencing back home. And that's the reality check. Sometimes we get caught up in this debate of stay or go, when really it's about opportunities and choices. If someone wants to move for better education or safer communities, they're not betraying South Africa. They're just trying to build a decent life. And if someone stays, they're not foolish either, because home has a different kind of richness that no passport can replace. But maybe the real takeaway here is balance. Life overseas isn't a golden ticket, and South Africa isn't a lost cause. Each has its challenges, each has its blessings. What that man reminded us, though, is that if you're going to warn people about the struggles of living abroad, don't downplay the very real struggles people face right here at home. So, the next time you see someone post about how miserable life is overseas, take it with a pinch of salt. Yes, they're telling some truth, but don't forget the bigger picture. Because at the end of the day, whether the grass is greener or not depends on where you're standing. And sometimes, you've got to cross the fence to water your side. Now let me know, would you pack up and leave for better opportunities, or do you think nothing beats home no matter what?
8,200,000 and something people are unemployed in South Africa. We are rated as the 5th country of the highest crimes in the world. We are placed 146 out of 148 country when it comes to recognized and official educational systems in the world. We are 4th highest homicide globally. Now, to everyone that always makes these videos about why living overseas is actually not that glamorous and why it isn't better than living in South Africa. Now, those stats may not be 100% accurate, but these are stats that I found on Wikipedia. education, safety, employment, and healthcare system. These are 4 things that are so vital in having basic needs and a normal life. And South Africa struggles in all 4. So stop telling people that coming overseas is not worth it. Yes, there's pros and cons about living here. There's costs, there's racism, change of food and whatever. But trust me, this place does have better opportunities, at least to have a decent life than back home. And I understand that some of you are trying to reach out on telling people that it isn't as glamorous as people make it to be. Yet I do think that sometimes people go to the extreme and saying it's actually not worth it. And so yes, the grass may not be greener on the other side, but it's a lot greener than where we come from.